Stop scrolling. What I'm about to reveal will completely shatter your perception of the modern world. While you're watching this video in comfort right now, at this very moment, people are being stoned to death, publicly flogged, and having their limbs surgically amputated as legal government punishment. You think medieval torture ended centuries ago? Wrong. These brutal ancient methods are happening today in 2025, sanctioned by modern governments with smartphones, internet, and space programs. I'm about to expose the most shocking ancient punishment methods that are still completely legal and actively practiced in countries you probably vacation in. The evidence I'm about to show you will make you question everything you thought you knew about human progress. But before we dive into this disturbing reality that mainstream media won't touch, smash that subscribe button because YouTube's algorithm tries to suppress content like this. Trust me, you've never seen anything like what I'm about to reveal. Let's start with the most unbelievable one that's happening right now. As you watch this, here's something that will blow your mind. In 2025, human beings are still being buried alive and stoned to death as official government punishment. Not in some lawless wasteland, but as formal judicial sentences in multiple countries: Iran, Afghanistan under Taliban rule, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, and parts of Nigeria under Sharia law still practice judicial stoning. Just months ago in 2024, Taliban leaders publicly reaffirmed that stoning would be their primary method of execution for adultery, specifically targeting women. Here's how absolutely horrifying this process is. The condemned person is buried in a pit up to their chest or neck, completely unable to move or defend themselves. The stones are specifically chosen by religious authorities. Not too small that death takes hours, not too large that death comes quickly. The goal is maximum suffering. But here's what makes it even more disturbing. Entire communities are required to participate. Neighbors, local officials, religious leaders, even family members are expected to throw stones. It becomes a community bonding experience centered around slowly torturing someone to death. The victims are overwhelmingly women accused of adultery, often based on circumstantial evidence or forced confessions obtained through torture. Many are buried deeper than men, making any chance of survival impossible. Iran has carried out confirmed stoning executions as recently as 2020. Despite massive international pressure, their government claims these punishments maintain social order and deter crime, but human rights organizations have documented that they're primarily used to terrorize populations and maintain authoritarian control. What's most shocking is that this is happening in countries with modern technology. These same governments use social media, have nuclear programs, and participate in international trade while literally organizing community stone-throwing events to kill their own citizens. Now here's something that will absolutely shock you. Singapore, consistently ranked as one of the world's most developed nations, still officially beats people with rattan canes as legal punishment. We're talking about the same Singapore with the world's best airport and cutting-edge technology. The process is medieval brutality wrapped in modern medical precision. Male prisoners are stripped completely naked and strapped face down to a specially designed wooden frame. A trained officer then strikes them with a 4-foot rattan cane that travels at speeds exceeding 160 kilometers per hour. The force is so intense that it literally tears through skin, muscle, and flesh in a single strike. The sound of the cane hitting human flesh is so disturbing that witnesses often vomit or faint. Prison officers describe the sound as similar to a gunshot, followed by tearing fabric. Malaysia practices this same punishment, and here's something even more shocking. They removed the age limit for certain crimes like rape. This means a 70-year-old man can be sentenced to judicial caning. The procedure is so brutal and dangerous that medical professionals are legally required to be present to monitor vital signs and ensure the prisoner doesn't die during the beating. But Indonesia's Aceh province takes this to an even more disturbing level by making it public entertainment. In 2024, 2 young men received 85 lashes each in front of massive cheering crowds for the crime of being gay. Thousands of people gathered in public squares to watch these men being tortured, treating it like a festival or sporting event. The long-term effects are devastating and permanent. Victims carry deep scars across their backs and buttocks for life. Many develop severe psychological trauma, chronic pain conditions, and some never fully recover physically. Yet these governments defend the practice as effective crime deterrents despite zero credible evidence supporting this claim. This next revelation will make your skin crawl. Several countries in 2025 still cut off people's hands, fingers, and feet as official punishment for theft and other crimes. But here's what makes it truly horrifying. They've modernized this ancient practice with surgical precision and specialized medical equipment. Iran leads the world in judicial amputations and has actually designed and manufactured guillotine machines specifically for severing human fingers and hands. In 2022, Amnesty International confirmed that Iranian authorities used one of these devices to amputate the fingers of two men convicted of theft. These aren't crude medieval tools. These are precision medical instruments designed for maximum efficiency in removing human body parts. The process is clinically sterile but morally barbaric. Here's what's absolutely terrifying. Iran has carried out a record number of amputations over the past 3 years, and the numbers are increasing dramatically. They're not phasing out this practice, they're systematizing and expanding it like an industrial process. The procedure works like this. The condemned person is brought to a medical facility, anesthetized like they're having surgery, and then has their hand or fingers removed using surgical instruments or the specialized guillotine device. They wake up permanently disabled, often unable to work or support their families. Afghanistan under Taliban rule has brought back public amputations in football stadiums. Taliban officials have openly stated that executions and amputations will return to Afghan sports venues with thousands of spectators invited to watch. It's entertainment. These aren't empty threats. They're actually happening. The Taliban has already carried out multiple public executions and amputations in stadiums across Afghanistan, treating these brutal punishments like public spectacles designed to terrorize the population. Saudi Arabia also practices amputation for theft. Though they're more secretive about their methods, they've carried out documented hand amputations as recently as 2023, and the practice remains fully legal under their interpretation of religious law. What makes all these punishments even more disturbing is how they're turned into public entertainment spectacles. We're not talking about quick, private punishments. These are elaborate public events designed to maximize fear and social control. Iran conducts public floggings and hangings using construction cranes in city centers, with crowds gathering to watch and take photos. These aren't solemn, respectful procedures. They're social events where people bring their families and treat the torture like entertainment. The psychological impact on witnesses, especially children who are often forced to attend, is devastating. Entire populations live in constant fear, knowing that their government not only has the power to torture and kill them, but will turn their suffering into public entertainment. Yemen, despite being torn apart by civil war, still conducts public floggings in whatever territory different factions control. The practice continues regardless of which group is in power, showing how deeply embedded these brutal traditions are. Somalia's various governing authorities regularly conduct public floggings, often for crimes as minor as theft or adultery accusations. The punishments are carried out in town squares, with entire communities forced to watch. The most disturbing aspect of modern ancient punishments is how they've been transformed into mass entertainment events that entire communities are forced to attend. North Korea regularly conducts public executions in stadiums and town squares, forcing entire communities to watch. Children are often required to witness these events as part of their political education. The executions are carried out using anti-aircraft guns, firing squads, or other methods designed to completely destroy the human body for maximum psychological impact. China operates mobile execution vans that travel directly to crime scenes and carry out lethal injections on the spot. These vans are equipped with restraints, medical equipment, and body storage, essentially turning execution into a mobile service that can be delivered anywhere in the country. But perhaps most disturbing is how social media has amplified these spectacles. Videos of public executions, floggings, and amputations spread rapidly online. allowing governments to terrorize not just local populations, but anyone worldwide who sees the footage. The psychological warfare aspect cannot be overstated. These public spectacles are designed to break the human spirit and create populations too terrified to resist authoritarian control. So there you have it. The shocking reality that medieval torture and execution methods are not only alive in 2025, but thriving under modern governments that present themselves as civilized to the international community. While most of us live in comfortable bubbles thinking humanity has evolved beyond such brutality, millions of people around the globe live under regimes that still use stoning, amputation, caning, and public torture as routine government policy. The most disturbing part isn't just that these practices exist, but that they're often carried out with modern medical precision and turned into mass entertainment events, making them even more psychologically devastating than their ancient predecessors. This is the reality that mainstream media avoids discussing and that social media algorithms try to suppress. But awareness is the first step toward change. International pressure and global awareness have forced some countries to reduce these practices, proving that exposure works. If this video opened your eyes to a reality you didn't know existed, smash that like button and subscribe for more content that exposes uncomfortable truths about our world. Share this with everyone you know because people deserve to understand what's really happening beyond their comfortable bubbles. What shocked you most about today's revelations? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss content like this. Thanks for watching, and remember, knowledge is power and awareness creates change.